I would eat it. I've never had one. But
I thought they brought it back, or they talked about bringing it back recently, like sometime after COVID.
it's not even that crazy, to be honest. Like after some of the things we looked at,
I mean, in the 90s, though, no one ever heard of a sandwich made out of interior sandwich parts.
Young Junk!
hey everyone, giant food. Some might call it gonzo food. Some might call it a marketing stunt. I call it delicious. We're here at Tubby Talk. I'm Chris.
I'm Steve.
And we're talking about something that's kind of near and dear to our heart. We know we're in the food industry. We love eating. We love Philly. Philly's all about big food as well. But yeah, just talking about gonzo food, like stunt food. And this is something you're like, well, what are you talking about? There's a lot of places that fall into this. And it, honestly, like it's a cheap trick, but it works on me.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here trying to brainstorm ways we can get in on this.
Yeah.
Where I hadn't really thought of this before, just because it seems like a waste.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, like it just kind of seems like, oh, well, this is an obnoxious marketing stunt, but like I still want to eat it. And one of the first places that came to mind for this for me is this place in Seattle. I went to Seattle once in my life. Went to this place called Beth's Cafe, and Beth's Cafe serves a 12-egg omelet.
Oh wow,
And
that's
this
like a $30 net omelet.
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah, I don't want to get political about eggs, so it's dangerous to bring it up. But yeah, this thing, they serve it on a pizza peel, right? And so I ate one of these by myself, and I didn't feel great, but it was delicious. The problem was I didn't finish the whole platter because it's served on a bed of hash browns.
Yeah.
And the hash browns is like, that is double the weight of the omelet itself.
As filler to prevent people from defeating the challenge. Right?
Yeah. But so they're famous for this. And, you know, everyone tries to, oh, well, I'm going there. I need to try this giant omelet. Because look, you want to try that.
But you ate the omelet part, the imperative part of the
I
dish.
ate 12 eggs of omelet and a bunch of cheese. And there was sausage in there too. So it was great. And you can see, like, this is, oh my God. Now I want omelet. The problem is, doing this episode, I'm going to want to eat everything I see.
I mean, we got some eggs back at the shop. We can make a omelet real quick.
Yeah, we got our little kind of hoard. Well, what do you think is the most eggs you ever ate in a single sitting?
I can tell you. No, I can't tell you. The most I've ever made was I made 5.
Nice.
Scrambled at one point.
5 scrambled is pretty
It
good.
was a good amount. It was a good amount, especially with some cheese mixed in there. Cooper Sharp cheese. It was really good.
What's crazy, though, about scrambled eggs is it always comes out smaller than you think it's gonna.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I used 5. And I'm like, oh, I need 5. 3 isn't enough. And then I'm like, too many eggs.
Yeah, 5 is a good
I
amount.
finished eating them. I'm not going to waste the eggs, but I mean, it was almost too many.
I feel like almost that sweet spot is 4, maybe, because 3 is a little too little.
4 is where Ayana yells at me, though.
Like, that's too many.
Yeah, she's like, you ate all the eggs. I'm like, I ate 4 eggs. There's 8 left. 8? I just bought those eggs. I'm like, well.
Man, look, it's so many hash browns.
That's like 3 potatoes right there.
It is. I did not eat. I ate maybe half the hash browns, but that's too much. Wow, Beth will go through 450,000 eggs.
In a year, wow. And 52 tons of hash browns. Yeah, see, look at that.
Yeah.
That discrepancy.
Yeah, and it's not a lie. That is a pizza plate. Like, shoo. But it's the sort of thing, you know, you go with a friend, you eat that. That's actually a pretty good meal. Like, eat 6 and 6.
Yeah.
That's a big meal, but it's not, you know, I'm going to get
6 and 6, 8 potatoes a piece.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I guess thinking a little more closer to home.
Wait. How many? Never mind. I know the answer. 12.
12 is the most eggs.
How many eggs have you
I've
eaten?
never eaten more eggs in a sitting than when I went to Beth's Cafe that I can remember.
How many hard-boiled eggs have you eaten?
Dude, so I don't know. And that's a great question
Because deviled eggs, I've eaten at least 6 eggs worth of deviled eggs in one sitting before.
Because deviled eggs, I feel like I could pop like for an entire
They're
party.
like nothing. Yeah, you just pop them in your mouth. You don't even think about it.
They're like nothing. And then you realize I just ate half a dozen eggs, which is gross. But they're so good. My daughter loves deviled eggs, and she learned how to make them. So now, like, whenever she's like, oh, I'm kind of hungry, I'm going to make deviled eggs. She just makes deviled eggs. Like, that's
Like,
the
to me,
thing.
that was always a party food. I never thought to make them just if I was hungry. Because I'm like, you make that for parties.
Yeah, no one makes deviled eggs just for fun, except my daughter. She'll just be like, oh, I'm in the mood for deviled eggs. Whip, whip, whip. I mean, the hardest part is you got to hard boil the egg, and that takes a little more time than the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not technically that much time.
Yeah, no, you can prep the rest of it while you're boiling the eggs.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Peeling the eggs is the hardest part. I hate peeling hard-boiled eggs.
And apparently the secret to that is you need older eggs. The older the egg is, the better it peels. So if you got
More
fresh
separates
eggs,
off.
yeah. So some people will, like, if you're really into hard-boiled eggs, they keep them in the fridge for a month. And they got, like, their day-to-day eggs, and then they got their month eggs.
They're boiling eggs.
They're boiling eggs. Ah, man, sorry, guys, I didn't know we were gonna get this political. But there it is. But yeah, keep eggs in your fridge for a month, and then they will peel right off. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, there's a bunch of places that we have loved to go together. Like Gonzo food is kind of a thing us and our friend group did.
Yeah, like especially in high school, we would go to the it wasn't the Gonzo food, it was more like a collection of foods, Gonzoized.
Yeah.
We'd go to Old Country Buffet all the time.
Oh yeah.
And we would just pile up our plates with basically see who could fit the most food on their plate and then finish the plate before everybody else and get more food.
Yeah, I wonder if any of them exist. Like if we found an old ad for Old Country Buffet, that would be fun. I barely remember them having ads. We just went because it was a siren call.
Yeah, we were like, all you can eat for like $8. It was like $8 a piece. We were poor high school kids. We were like, yes, please.
Yeah.
I felt like every Saturday night, the one on the boulevard, the lady at the counter knew us. Because we would just show up, plop down our money, get our receipts, and just go to town.
Yeah, and we'd be those jerks who would come in like early in the evening and just stay.
Just laughing it up.
Man, maybe I do remember this ad, but it's a buffet. So the buffet, to a certain subset of humanity, a buffet is a challenge. Every time you go, the buffet's just like, I bet you can't. What you gonna do? What you gonna eat?
Me. Yeah.
You can make the fact that the soft serve is open to you this whole time, like of course.
I've literally filled up. I think I'll get a soup bowl
Mm.
and just fill it up with soft serve, eat it, get some more, fill it up again, eat it again.
They'd have those corny little tiny bowls next to it. Like I never use those bowls. You're right. You get the soup bowl. You go to that soft serve machine. You fill it up. It was great. We never did it for breakfast, and I think Old Country Buffet
I did it for breakfast once.
Was it fun?
It was kind of fun. The eggs weren't very good. If the eggs were better, it would have been trying to get political again. If the eggs were better, it would have been great.
Yeah.
It was okay. The sausages were, they didn't have scrapple. You know, it was in Philly. They did not have scrapple. It was a travesty.
Was this the Roosevelt Boulevard one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went there with, I forget who I went there with. I think I convinced my family to go.
Yeah.
Like I went with like my aunt and my cousins, and I was like, we should go to Old Country Buffet. I'd love it with my friends. And then I went there and I was like, breakfast isn't the same.
Here's the question. So Steve always had this theory, and I want to know if you're still on this train.
Yeah, yes, 110%.
Steve was like, we would get water from this fountain, and he was sure that they put flour in the drinking water so that you would get full.
Drinking water in the lemonade. I used to think it was flour. I found out it's cornstarch, and they do it.
They put cornstarch in the drinking water?
Yeah, maybe not necessarily at Cracker Barrel, but places will put cornstarch in the drinks to slightly thicken it.
That sounds fake to me. They put cornstarch in the water?
If I had time to find it, I'd find it right now. I saw something recently it was like a restaurant Mythbusters type thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, sometimes they put cornstarch in certain like fountain drinks.
We probably spent a couple hours arguing about this very point.
Because especially the lemonade, it was not very sweet. It was not very lemony, but it was viscous.
Yeah.
And trust me, I know lemonade. Lemonade isn't necessarily viscous unless you add a ton of sugar or a ton of lemon pulp.
I can't refute the idea that every time I drank water there, I did feel really full. Now, it might be because I had 4 plates of food before that.
Water just inflating all the food in there. Yeah.
Water definitely made it hit.
Yeah, adding cornstarch to it would help.
Yeah.
It makes it that much thicker.
You need a thickener for your beverages, yeah. But yeah, Old Country buffets in general, Old Country OCB is where we hit the most frequently.
Yeah, and then we found out about the
oh yeah, a Shady Maple.
Yeah, Shady Maple.
Shady Maple smorgasbord.
And like near Amish country.
I wonder if there's an ad for that, because so that is a place that is basically, what if Old Country Buffet was run by the Amish and it was like 4 football fields large?
It's huge. And there would just be truckloads of churches would just go there.
Yeah.
From all over the Pennsylvania, probably New Jersey.
Yes. So look at this. This is all buffet as far as the eye can see.
They had scrapple.
Yeah.
They knew how to do it.
And so like the benefit here is like, oh, this is made by like the Pennsylvania Dutch and they know how to eat, right? The thing is like they've gotten what is that?
They look like a motorized buggy.
No, what is happening?
Or is that like the new Google Map car or something?
It looked like an AI artifact is what it looked like. But this place, so yeah, they're known for like having pretty decent food, but a lot of it And the cool thing is, like, you see, all they're showing here is just half of it because they have the whole thing doubled on the other side, and it's just like so much buffet.
Yeah, the fresh cut meats. They were replacing pans like every 15 minutes. It feels like the food was never cold when we went.
Yeah, and so again, eating challenge every time. Like, well, how many can I eat? And one time, like, I took pictures of every single plate I ate, and it was 7 plates of food, including the dessert. That counts.
Oh, that's too many beets. Trying to get off topic. I just realized that pan of red stuff was beets.
Too many beets.
Too many. No, that number of beets should never be in one. That conglomeration of beets should never be in one spot at one time.
Hand breaded chicken. See, if they're actually making this stuff like that, like, I don't think I had the chicken. I got to go back. And the problem is, so we used to go to these places all the time, love buffets, and then we got significant others. And our significant others aren't so big into buffets.
Yeah, one of our friends' wife, she's also our friend, but
yeah,
she poo-pooed us going out there a lot. She's from like State College area, and she was just like, yeah, I've heard of places like that. They use the same food pipeline that prisons use. And I'm like,
so?
And? I've eaten it already. It was perfectly fine.
See, again, this makes me want to go there.
Yeah, this isn't going to be like friggin' Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
I don't expect Wagyu beef.
It's definitely, people would say, well, it's quantity over quality. And it probably is. It definitely is. But what's wrong with a little quantity?
Grade for a reason.
Yeah.
Grade A meat is just fine. For human consumption.
I'm guessing that probably for a dinner now, it's probably somewhere between $25, $35 a head. Probably at this.
I feel like that's probably fair though for the price.
Oh yeah,
and the quality you get from there.
And the more you eat, the more you save. But yeah, it's just filled with people who buses come out, and when Steve's saying church buses come out, it's not like this little mega churches.
Yeah, they're like renting fleets of charter buses and just pouring. Because one time we tried to go, we had to wait in line for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because
there were just 2 churches filtering in before us. There's also pumpkin picking season, so it's a part of the problem.
But it's definitely an experience, and I would recommend it to anyone who likes to eat.
We got to get back there.
We're gonna have a bro trip. How about we just do that? Like, you mean
on the way to pick up the arcade machines from State College? Stop by Shady Maple on the way home.
Oh, that sounds good.
I don't want to do it on the way there. On the way home, though, that'll be so good.
But another place that comes to mind that we went to a good amount when I lived in Jersey City.
Oh yeah,
this place that was called the
Brownstone.
The Brownstone Pancake Factory. The Brownstone Diner and Pancake Factory, which, spoiler alert, kind of stole part of the name for Tubby, because the Tubby Robot Ice Cream Factory, Brownstone Diner, and Pancake Factory. We got that. I got that factory at least.
The pedigree, factory pedigree.
The factory pedigree. But we pulled up a video of Life, which is what it's called now. So they rebranded like post COVID, and now it's called Life Pancake Company.
Like the child of the previous owner or something.
Yeah.
Runs it. Yeah.
Guy Fieri went, oh my God, it's the country breakfast wrap. Yeah. I want it.
He's been to both iterations.
Oh yeah, he has been. So this was my favorite meal. And he's still there too. All of them are still there. So the country breakfast wrap, which I don't know what they call it now, but it's basically a manhole-sized pancake. And on top of that, they put hash browns and sausage and scrambled eggs and cheese and wrap it up.
And hash brown. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby.
Delicious. Yeah, and then they just showed it looks like, I think that they called it their pancake burrito.
Yeah.
And they put cheese and chicken cutlet.
So they no longer call it a country breakfast wrap. Now it's a pancake.
Well, no, I think that might be a separate item because that is definitely like Southwest style that has chicken.
Yeah.
The country breakfast wrap, they showed them making it at the beginning, so they do still make it for breakfast.
So, and this is like, I always think of this as kind of like a gonzo thing because it's this giant pancake.
It's a huge pancake.
It's really big.
Every time you would bring somebody there, their eyes widen.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my God, what is that? And then they eat it and they're like, oh my God, it's so good. And then they have the audacity to have a cake display at the register. I'm like, you want some cake now that you ate this giant pancake?
Which is very classic diner, right?
I wish I never had their cakes. I was always too full.
Yeah.
It looked good. I've never had room.
And I would get dessert there, but the dessert, like when I was going hog wild. So I probably went there once a week when I lived in Jersey City, but they probably accounted for about half of the caloric intake I had. Because I'd go there and no lie, like it would be like 6,000 calories. Because I'd eat that.
Well, yeah, especially if you eat that or if you eat the other signature item.
Yeah, so the waffle tower. So I would eat the country breakfast wrap, and then like just to show off, they had this thing called the waffle tower, which is a Belgian waffle split into quadrants, and they would stack it up with a big scoop of ice cream between each. Cover it with syrup, cover it with whipped cream, all the good stuff. So I'd have a breakfast wrap and the waffle tower. It was at least 6,000 might be low.
And then they had like crazy fries or something too. They had like Russian dressing all over it and a bunch of other like meat, I think, and cheese on there.
Yeah.
It's like bacon. Like not even bacon bits. It was like strips of bacon.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. Brownstone fries is what they
Brownstone fries. Yeah.
Brownstone fries. And they had great curly fries. Like this might be something that people get mad about. I think the best French fry in the world, really good curly fry.
I agree.
I'm glad you agree. Yeah. Curly fries are great, and I think they're kind of unsung.
With a caveat, because they have to be cooked right. It's easy to undercook a curly fry.
Yeah.
And then you just have a gross, dense mess. But when you cook them perfectly, nice and fluffy,
a crispy curly
fry. It's crispy and fluffy inside. You bite it and just the steam comes out, and it does a little like boing yoing yoing. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and this there's a rivalry between cheesesteak places in Philly. Dallas Sanders and Chubby's. Everyone goes to Dallas Sanders and Chubby's is always mad about it, but Chubby's has
curly fries.
They have curly fries. And the curly fries they do are typically really good there.
Yeah, I don't know if they've always done it, but I know at least as of a couple years ago, they banned people from buying Dallas Sanders cheesesteaks, walking across the street and getting Chubby's curly fries.
Yeah, well, they get mad at you. If you walk in with a Dallas Sanders bag, they'd be like...
If they even saw you across the street, they get mad at you.
Yeah.
Like you just be parking on the other side of the street and they're like, no, get out.
It's a blood feud. If I ever seen one like Philly style.
One-sided blood.
And then people are like, well, why don't they do fries over Dallas Sanders? And it's probably just because it would be madhouse.
Yeah, they're like, A, they don't have enough space. B, who wants fries with cheesesteaks? And I disagree with my girlfriend works there sometimes. And like she's friendly with the owner. So I've had this debate with her a few times.
Yeah.
Cooper Sharp cheese is the way to go. She's like, no, it's too hard to slice it. Which fair. It sticks together.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. And then also fries. She's like, who wants fries with cheesesteaks? It's like everybody. She's like, no, they don't.
Both those things are delicious. Now, I love Dallas Sanders cheesesteaks. I get it with American typically. And people say like, well, there's 3 ways you can get it, right? It's American, Whiz, or Provolone. And those are all 3 valid Philly choices, right? But Cooper Sharp is new. And so I understand, new to us at least.
Yeah, the cheesesteak industrial complex.
The pantheon. Of cheesesteaks. But they do that at Bar John down here. I know they're all about the Cooper Sharp. And every once in a while, Lucky's will do a special cheesesteak. And they do Cooper Sharp. And it is good. Do you get Cooper Sharp at home?
Yeah, that's all we've eaten for the last 15 years. Like, as soon as I figured out, because I used to, as a kid, my corner store used to have a brick of it. And they would slice it, and they just sold it as American cheese.
Yeah.
So that was the American cheese I grew up with. Oh. And then when I would go to like the supermarket and get Dietz Watson American cheese, and it was like creamy but bland. And I'm like,
you must have been so disappointed. You thought that was just American cheese.
I hated it. I was like, this is like Kraft single BS. Like, what the hell? And then I learned later, I saw the package, like, oh no, that's a separate American cheese. It's Cooper Sharp.
Yeah,
American cheese.
And I feel like cheese is a big part of Gonzo food in general and Philly food.
Because, cheese it adds a lot of flavor. It adds a lot of calories. It doesn't take up a lot of space generally.
Yeah.
So it does help make the food taste good enough that you want to keep eating it because it has a nice salty hit to it. But also, it's relatively cheap for like this portion of food. There's something like the place I wanted to bring up, that I guess inspired this. I was talking about it earlier. Space in Atlantic City called Tony Baloney's. Oh. And I saw a video on it on YouTube, and then I might be going to Atlantic City in a couple months. So I was like, I think I want to eat there, but I don't want to die.
Yeah. So he was telling me about this. I'm like, oh, it sounds pretty normal, but yeah, go through it.
Yeah. So their signature pizza is called the Swine Fighter, which I still can't figure out what the pun is. I guess crime fighter, but swine, or just you're fighting swine. But it's a big square pizza. Yes, there it is right there. They cook up all those pepperonis in two pans, pile all the pepperonis on top of the pizza, take the grease from the pepperonis, mix it with ranch dressing, squeeze it over top of the pizza.
See, it's the grease that really elevates that to like, that's kind of gross.
Yeah, and it's already the old world style of pepperoni, which cups. So it already holds all that grease.
This place looks huge, by the way. Like, look at the size of the kitchen.
Yeah, like I think he said it was a bodega that they just like retrofit into.
What kind of bodega was that?
What like
Mega bodega?
a mega dega. Yeah, like he was like, we got rid of all the chips and or all like the sodas and groceries and stuff, and they were just, I guess it was a small grocery store.
Yeah.
As opposed to a bodega. But yeah, and then he drinks virgin olive oil all the time. Oh no, that's what they cook the bottom of the pan with. It's not something greasy. They put a ton of olive oil in.
Way to go along into the ethnic stereotype there, buddy. Good job. We've been fighting that for years.
But yeah, and he takes 2 pizza doughs and smashes them together into the crust.
Oh,
and they like twice bake it too.
He's got to spread it out by hand each time, double.
Yeah.
So this is a fair amount of labor.
Yeah, they spread it out, they let it rise. So I think it's one of the things you have to call ahead for, and it's probably like $50. It seems cheap. $50 seems cheap.
Yeah. Well, once you see what they put on top, like right now, you're like $50. Just wait.
Oh no, I'm thinking 50 might be low. I would charge more than 50 for that.
Yeah.
I think.
So yes.
Yeah, he proofs the dough and then cooks it and then puts the cheese in and cooks it again. And I was like, it just sounds like it's gonna be nice and crispy, but with like that chewy center.
What is that?
Like he basically made a ciabatta bread.
That is
pink
goo.
Focaccia? I forget. It's vodka sauce. That's the one thing I don't like about it. I hate vodka sauce.
I don't mind a vodka.
And he said he won't. I think he says he won't do it with marinara.
Well, really?
Like the smart powder comes with the. So I might have to see if I can convince him to do marinara.
Well, the guy, I trust this guy. So like whatever he's saying, I'm probably gonna go along with it.
I'm just of the mind, if you're gonna have tomato in the sauce, go tomato. I don't want tomato-ish.
Yeah.
But
so he's putting all these different types of cheese.
Yeah, there's like Munster on there.
This is more artisanal than I expected for a gonzo food.
Honestly, I forgot about it. I mostly remember the pepperoni.
I'm going here because I'm just seeing all the stuff they're doing. Because before they were showing like a pizza with tacos on it.
Oh, yeah. Individual tacos around the circumference of the pizza.
Look, how many pepperonis can one man fit on a pizza?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Hey, he's taking it out of the bin like he took half the bin.
I'm like, how many pepperonis must they go through a day? Or are they like, we only have 3 of these in us every day, like every week?
I see. That's the operational problem with like a gonzo food, right? Because like either you have it all the time and everyone gets it,
or you have to do it by special order, or like,
yeah, like because you can't have all this ready all the time, can you? Man.
Yeah, I think this is the crust for the taco pizza.
Oh, meatballs, hand formed.
I was waiting with those meatballs. Oh, those are burgers. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Like all the food looks so good. It looks like it smells good when it's cooking. It looks like when the shop closes, you got to clean it. It probably stinks to high heaven in there, but
oh yeah,
I think
this dude kind of looks like guy in falling in love with him. Man,
yeah, the taco pizza has like a Southwest Ranch thing on it. Yeah, we definitely got to go there.
So many pepperonis. It reminds me almost of something from the sea. Like you pull up a piece of dock with mussels all over it.
Yeah, and you got to scrape the barnacles off.
Scrape the barnacles. Oh, they're putting the smashed patties on a pizza. And that's a lot of patties.
Like it's like Munster on it too. Wow.
I want to get like 2 or 3 of these things and just have a shore weekend.
Fried onions on it.
All right.
Yeah. Next time we head down the shore, we gotta.
Yeah, I'm gonna
hit up Tony Baloney.
Look at that. It looks like a ton of clams.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they could get a clam boil going on, but it's pepperoni.
So he's got that. He's going to put every single one of those on that one pizza, which is wrong. To be clear, this is morally wrong, what he's doing. He's a bad man.
He's fighting swine. That's like 3 pigs worth of pepperoni right there.
Pigs. And then you look at the grease that comes off of them. See, this is actually a really well done video that shows like the steps of what goes into it and really gets the scale. Because look at this grease.
It's real clear, clean grease.
Yeah. You're not going to get clearer grease than that.
He greased those pepperonis himself.
Well, so yeah, he puts the grease in there with ranch, you said, right?
Yeah.
And he drinks some because he's a disgusting human being who I love. Oh my God. And the fact that it's big and square, like you could do this on a round pizza, but they want
the same. Yeah, you got the visual impact. You can't see a crust because it's all pepperoni.
Yeah. So this is an already baked pizza, and he's like, let's put he bakes them separately. And do you think that's just because it's so thick you wouldn't be able to cook?
Yeah, like the piece would be soggy in the middle.
Look at so much. See, I'm not even a big pepperoni guy, but I want this.
Like, I love pepperoni, so to me, this is a dream come true. But this seems like something that I wouldn't be able to sleep for 3 days after I ate this.
Yeah, you're
Just a problem.
Ain't gonna feel good,
but I might just have to stay up for 3 days.
It's worth it. No, dude. All right, they're sold. Look at that. I would eat that. Absolutely.
Yeah, he basically made bread and baked the pizza out of some bread by shoving the pepperoni.
Bread. First we get the bread, then we get the vodka, then we get the cheese, then we get the wheat.
Then we get the bubble guts.
And that's dude, see, this one is more up my alley. Like burgers.
It's got sesame seed crust.
Yeah. Kind of like Pizza John's grandma style. And then you do the swirl to make it pretty. Yeah.
But yeah, the taco one, it seems like a gimmick, and I kind of hate it because it's gimmicky.
Totally.
But the tacos are probably good. See how good this pizza looks. The tacos are probably quality tacos, and then you got quality pizza under it.
And I feel like that's the struggle between these, because there's a lot of it's presentation, right? Like this is a gonzo thing. It's got to be over the top, but the flavor's there too. You need it to be something you want to eat that much of.
And the thing that makes you trust him, like along the lines of what you're saying, the way he's eating that pizza, he's not like, this is a TV bite. He's like, I'm trying to shove this whole thing in my mouth.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't because I'm being recorded right now.
Like that slice of pizza's got like 2 burger patties on it. And you just think about the caloric intake and you feel warm inside.
Yeah, now if I remember correctly, they said the taco pizza is like like they do it every Tuesday or something. It's like a time limited thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because you got to make all those tacos.
That's a lot.
And they have like one employee that's just like, she makes all the tacos. And
she's like, oh, Taco Girl's not in. I'm sorry.
I think he said like she made them like for staff lunch. And he was like, can you make like 200 of these? She's like, okay. Like, yeah, can you make 200 of these and put them on pizzas? It's like, Dios mío. Said it worked.
So I wonder if these mozzarella sticks, have you seen, do they make the mozzarella sticks?
He dumped them out of bin, so I don't know if he makes them. It looks like they make them. That looks custom. Like that looks seasoned.
Almost everywhere that you get mozzarella sticks, it's just frozen. One. Yeah, it's just like Restaurant Depot, they just pop them in. And so like, I don't get that excited about them.
But like you could make your own. It's easy to make a mozzarella stick, Beth, of deliciousness. The way he's opening,
the way, like
eating them,
he's
they must
really
be
showing them off.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. He have to be.
I think they're making them.
He definitely dumped them out of the box. He must be like. I'm sure you prep these,
yeah,
and cook them to order. But
yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, they're oblong. Yeah, these are custom.
What is that?
I don't know, but it's proving to me that he's
maybe it's a dessert one. It's like
dessert.
I don't know what that would color. What colored thing that would make that?
Oh, what's in there? Show me, Tony. Oh, it's blue. Oh, dude, that does not look like something I want to eat.
It's definitely cheese,
but I'd still try it.
Looks like a mozzarella stick died.
Yeah, a mozzarella stick died for his sins.
Back of the oven.
Oh, he's not a fan of that one. Okay. Well, I trust. Wow, if he really doesn't like it,
maybe it did die. Oh, Mad Much. Okay, it's a company that makes different custom mozzarella sticks. Okay, so
okay, good.
He was trying them, and he was like, "That one's gross."
So yeah, we haven't really done much of this at Tubby. Like we flirt with it. The problem is like we have a small shop, right?
Yeah, we fit so many people. The one story I always tell people when they ask about a gonzo item. There was this gentleman that would come into the shop. He came in on a couple dates. I'm not gonna say he's a player. I never noticed him with the same woman twice. He looked a lot like JFK, John F. Kennedy. He was just short.
Oh, by the way, you can probably look this up, Dylan. If you look up Tubby Robot Waffle,
Waffle Sunday,
because we were on the news once for this.
Yeah,
the news.
But yeah, and so he came in. He orders the waffle sundae, and it's a full Belgian waffle. We put 4 scoops of ice cream, top it with all the good toppings like hot fudge. And he got it once. He was like, "This is really good."
Yeah, that first one should have it.
And he would come back on multiple dates again. He's kind of a player a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now. So hope I'm not blowing up your spot. And he would get it every time he came in. And his dates would often be like, "Oh my God, that's so much food." And he's like, "Oh no, I get this all the time." He would scarf it down. He would share it if they wanted to, but he would scarf it down. And one time he was just like, "Do you ever do like 2 waffles?" Because they come in we sell them in clamshell containers. So like, "You ever do like 2 waffles?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can call it the aircraft carrier." And we called it the JFK.
Yeah.
Because he knew he looked like JFK.
He knew. I would like
When I said it to him, he was like, yeah, a lot of people told me that.
Oh, wow.
So I was like,
There's the Belgian waffle sundae.
it's Chris putting a sundae together.
Which is big. Like that's a 4-scooper.
So he was like, what if we got 2 of those in one tray? And I was like, yeah, I called the aircraft carrier in memory of your lookalike. And I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
If that guy comes back in and asks for it, I'm doing it right then and there. I haven't seen him in a couple years, so I hope you're okay, dude.
Yeah. You come in like we got an aircraft carrier for you.
Free or gratis. You just gotta take pictures of it.
So you got 2 waffles. Still 4 scoops of ice cream. So then you just put it on top.
No. It'd be 2 waffles, 8 scoops of ice cream.
8 scoops of ice cream.
Keep it side by side, so you gotta serve it with the open clamshell.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say, these PHL 17 people, they did a great spot for us. I haven't seen this in years. Makes me want to eat more. But yeah, aircraft carrier for that guy, like I do hope he comes back.
I've told other people that story. None of them have visited the challenge, or else I would have probably made it on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want me to? Because one guy was like, it sounds good. And I was like, do you want me to do 2? And he's like, oh no, I shouldn't. His friends were trying to egg him on. I should have helped egg him on.
For some reason, just the name aircraft carrier, like that really spoke to me. But I guess other places that do it, if we pull up, we brought up the Vermonster before.
Ben and Jerry's, yeah.
And the Vermonster is a bucket of ice cream that Ben and Jerry's will sell you. It's a bucket sundae. 12 scoops of ice cream.
Literally
no,
a
20
tail
scoops of ice cream.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that looks more like the Vermonster I'm used to seeing.
Yes, that's absurd. It's great. I've never eaten a whole one.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever ordered it.
I ate half of one.
Yeah, which is a lot of ice cream.
It was a lot. See, like the extra stuff, like the bananas and like and stuff in there and the candy. That's what killed me.
Because that's a gallon tub. That's a 1-gallon tub.
If it was just ice cream, I mean, it is scoops though, so you have some air gaps in there, so it's not solid.
Yeah,
but I've eaten like the 5-gallon tub jugs you sell at like Murray's, like supermarket, like the real cheap ice cream. I've eaten like all the chocolate out of one of those once. I
love that this is a video of a dude timing himself eating a Vermonster. By the way, like he put the timer on, just like, hey, so you know I'm not cheating.
He's taking his time though. I was gonna eat it for. I guess you don't get ice cream headache.
I think if you eat it too fast, you may not finish, right? Now, this isn't to say like we've eaten a lot of ice cream in our time.
I mean, you've eaten what was it? 48 scoops?
47
scoops of ice cream.
It was the what was the Super Scooper fundraiser at the God, where's it called?
Welcome America.
Welcome America. Yeah. It was an ice cream festival that Philly used to have every July.
Yeah, for 4th of July. And then they stopped like right around when Tubby opened, they stopped, I think.
Yeah. Because I was one of my dreams was like one day Tubby
to exhibit there,
will be there, and then they closed out right after we opened, and Philly's never been the same since. But it was all you can eat ice cream, which was the big draw.
And we'd just go around. We would get like the Haagen-Dazs. Well, I don't know, it was always popular with us. Everybody who wasn't Chris or the rest of our friends, we would get water ice and include that in our tally. He's like, no, it's got to be pure ice cream for me. Yeah, they also don't need water ice, but
they did serve it to you like you'd pick up cups with single scoops in them, and so you go from table to table, grabbing cups.
And when you finish it, you just stack them in each other.
We would stack them up, and that would be our trophy. So, in fact, if you look up Flickr revolving door,
Flickr still exist?
It still exists. Flickr without an E. Not on this.
YouTube,
on Google.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure out where there would be a picture
revolving
of it,
door,
public picture of it that we could pull up.
No, not that. Not
revolving dork.
Dork. Oh yeah, with a K. And this hopefully, yeah, there it is. Pick that first one. So the first thing on my Flickr is, of course, us going to the ice cream festival. And if we go down a little bit, these are the trophies.
That was a year when I wasn't feeling particularly well and it was very hot, so it only had like 12.
This is me. I only had 31 scoops.
Yeah, it was like 110 degrees that day. We all kind of underperformed.
But this is the last one we did, but that's the trophy. You carry it around and then you eat out of it all day. If you go down a little bit more, like most of these are actually from the Philly Ice Cream Festival. If we just that's ravioli day. Everything is food. All right, there's another one. We got Steve that was your worst year.
That was that is me. Yeah,
I'm sad.
Yeah, that's why I'm pouting.
Yeah,
I was so upset at myself.
He only had 10 scoops of ice cream, like a jerk.
I don't even have an excuse for that one. That was I just failed.
Yeah, and that year I did 30. 30's fine.
You look exactly the same.
We go down. The one before that, though, this is PAX East. We got to go another page. um. Oh, no, it was not this year, but
You sure it wasn't that year?
yeah, that was 30 again.
Why am
I was just stuck on 30.
Oh yeah, your cousin took a picture of
2000.
all of them. That's why he has such a big stack. I was like, he did not eat more.
Yeah, that's when we put them all together at the end, and yeah, that's what it looks like because we're cool dudes. But basically, this was a great event. I wanted to come back.
More ice cream at this. I did all these pictures. I'm eating like 12. 18.
There we go. 47. That was my best ever.
Oh, okay.
40, and you can see that's taller than 30.
To me, it doesn't look like that's 40. That looks like 20. So okay, I did eat more than I thought. It just the tower isn't matching up with what I expected.
Yeah. I actually went into this photo, and counted them. You can count them each by rim. But in the same one, if we go a couple photos, I guess forward or backwards, Steve should be here. We'll see what he did this year.
Yeah, I think I did 30 that year. I definitely had water ice in there, but I think I did 30.
Back to photo. Yeah, there he is.
In the blue shirt.
Oh, you look sick as a dog.
No, up the next row down, yeah.
20 scoops. Yeah, you look
20, yeah.
very sick. But yeah, so
I ate breakfast that morning.
Yeah.
Some of the days I chose I didn't eat, but I made the mistake eating breakfast that day.
You gotta not pregame. The thing is, like, you don't want to go in with a completely empty stomach. Like, you want to have a decent dinner the night before, stretch out, and then you empty it.
Yeah, see, like I don't know other professional eater like tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
I do know after you ate that ice cream, you went to Dallas Sanders and got a cheesesteak.
Yeah. Well, the Dallas Sanders, the cheesesteak will keep it down. Because let me tell you, after 47 scoops of ice cream, I didn't feel great. I didn't feel very good in my belly. But the cheesesteak, paradoxically enough, like
held it down.
Weighed it down. So nothing was coming back up.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah. And that reminds me of another gonzo thing in Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this place called Beaches and Cream in the Beach Club hotel. And they serve this thing called the kitchen sink. And they literally, it's a scoop of every ice cream they have served in a sink-shaped bowl. And
they got special bowls.
They got special bowls for it. This was, they've changed a little bit, so it's wussier than this now. But
that looks like an actual sink, like an old sink.
Yes. And so I have had this once, not alone. I had it with my cousins, and we finished it together. But it's one of those things where, like, it's more about the presentation and the looks and the idea than the actual experience. Because the experience wasn't that great. Because let me tell you, you're halfway through eating a bowl of ice cream, and the bottom just becomes this morass, this soup of stuff. An entire can of whipped cream.
1,000 maraschino cherries is not true.
Didn't say 1,000.
It said 1,000.
Well, it's wrong. Yeah, approximately.
It said it can include approximately 1,000.
It looks like maybe they put between 15 and 20 cherries on.
Got the stems on them though. That makes it tougher to eat too.
But what's cool is they bring this out and they make an event. Like they put the lights off and on, and they announce it by naming it. Look, they're doing two at once. Like, so you hear this all the time.
Oh, they got a big base on it. Oh, that's
yeah. So it's big. And the brownies and a whole can of whipped cream is really sells it. And some of them, like, it looks like they held the whipped cream on that one. Why? You want the whipped
more
cream.
Brownies on there. They're like, that's too much. It happens at the shop sometimes. People are like, I don't want whipped cream. It's too much dairy. On their 2 scoop of ice cream with hot fudge on it. Yeah, they're like, too much dairy for the whipped cream.
I gotta tell them, like, whipped cream is like more than half air.
I mean, it more kills me when people get the dairy-free ice cream and then ask for whipped cream. And I'm like, we have actual whipped cream, so it's milk. And they're like, oh.
Yeah, like, what did you think? What do they think it was?
Well, like during the big game, did you see the commercial for that cold foam?
No, I didn't see that. Is it imitation whipped cream?
Yes.
Like Cool Whip?
Yes. Like, I looked it up. It's for whoever Coffee Mate makes it. The commercial was gross, by the way. Somebody's tongue came out their mouth, started dancing around.
I saw that ad.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was
that's
for.
What it was for.
We were too busy cringing.
And they kept calling it cold foam, and they're using it as whipped cream. And I'm like, why do they keep calling it cold foam?
Cold.
I was like, it must not have any cream. It's coconut oil. It's whipped coconut oil.
Okay.
And it has milk derivative solids. So it's not dairy free, but it's not a milk product.
Yeah.
So it's the worst of both worlds.
No, I don't. So it's like
it's Cool Whip from a spray can, but you can't eat it if you're lactose intolerant or allergic to milk because it has milk in it.
Cool Whip's one of those things where, like, I was fine with it growing up, but I was like, all right, Cool Whip is kind of interesting taste to it. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And
it's its own thing.
It's its own thing. But then you learn what it's made out of.
I learned this exact same thing as Crisco.
It's a petroleum byproduct.
Yeah, both of them are. It's Crisco cooking oil. They whip it.
They whip it. That's all it is.
And they make it Cool Whip. And it turned me off to it, but I still love it. I still got a soft spot for it on banana pudding.
Yeah.
Banana pudding comes with Cool Whip on it. I will enjoy it.
I kind of like it on like a pie, like a pumpkin pie.
It has no nutritional value and it's not activated, I think, at all.
It contributes to the abscess forming in your gut every time you eat it.
It fills your appendix with gross stuff and eventually got to get taken out because it's filled with Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Well, actually filled with petroleum at that point.
So just thinking that this came from petroleum, it's like, I don't know if I want to eat that.
I mean, it's the same thing with margarine. As soon as I was like, margarine's just plastic that you eat?
Yeah.
I was like, ugh. I already like butter better in the first place. I was like, the Margarine Council back in the 90s was like, margarine's better for you.
See, that brings us back to cheese again. And cheese is interesting because like I went through this period about maybe a decade ago where it's like, I'm an adult now. American cheese, people tell me, is not real cheese. So I'm going to step it up. And I just got cheddar, like straight cheddar. I was like, cheddar's good. And I've started using that for everywhere I would have used American. And then like over time, I think I miss American. I like American better for a lot of things.
So I know I say this all the time, and I don't know how better to explain it than when I eat cheddar cheese on anything, especially if it's a burger or like a sandwich, it detracts flavor from the food to me.
I get that because like I feel like I get a cheddar, like I'm like, oh, it's gonna be really, really cheesy. It's not.
It's like so uncheesy that it makes the burger taste less burgery.
Yeah.
Because I'm eating the cheddar and it's just like removing flavor from the equation. Yeah. Not in an unpleasant way, but it's different.
And I don't know the basis for people. I don't know the chemistry behind American cheese. Like maybe it's not grown in the cheese part of France where the chaws, you can only be called cheese if it's from Chaws, France. What I
think I remember. It's not cheese, it's just sparkling milk.
Yes.
If I remember correctly from the one time I looked this up, American cheese like isn't cured anywhere near as long, if it's even cured.
Okay.
You kind of like separate the curds in a way and smash the curds and you got American cheese.
Yeah.
Where like cheddar cheese, you age it. Other cheeses, you age them. Parmesan, you take out like all the moisture and you age it for like months or years.
Parmigiano Reggiano is like by definition aged, like it's either 6 months or a couple years.
Yeah, like a very long time. Yeah. And American cheese is like, you took all the wet stuff out, you got cheese now.
Yeah.
So some people on that basis are like, it's not real cheese because you just took and dehydrated some milk.
See, I think it's got a great flavor.
Yeah, it's got a nice flavor, nice texture.
It melts really well.
It melts so good. Yeah, like, again, that's why I like Cooper Sharp cheese so much because it has the melt and the creaminess of American cheese, but it has that little bit of tanginess that cheddar has.
Yeah. And so that's how I feel like omelets. I used to be like, all right, omelets now I'm making with cheddar cheese because I'm an adult. I'm a grown-ass man. And it didn't have the flavor.
Cheddar cheese, if I eat eggs with cheddar cheese, I need to salt them to taste like anything. Yeah. Otherwise, it tastes like nothing. Like it tastes like sharp cheese.
I wonder how much of this is because we went to Old Country Buffet 1,000 times growing up
and only ate American
destroyed our taste buds.
Well, I know as a kid, I never had access and then desire to access Kraft singles.
Right.
So a lot of people equate American cheese with Kraft singles, which at certain points were plastic.
Yes.
Might still be kind of plastic, but at certain points they were plastic.
Yeah, my
so I get why you wouldn't like it.
My kids and my wife actually are into Velveeta. And the Velveeta is like, that ain't cheese.
Yeah, Velveeta's like a weird, it's not petroleum, I guess, but it's some kind of weird 50s amalgam of like, what can we do with this substance? Make it a cheese. Yeah. I like Velveeta mixed in stuff. I wouldn't eat like a slice of Velveeta.
Right.
But I've never had a slice of Velveeta. Maybe it's delicious. But I know growing up, like we had like we had public assistance. Mm-hmm. So we got, back in the 80s, that meant you got a block of farmer's cheese. A farmer in central Pennsylvania made cheese.
Really?
Yeah, so that's what you got. That's what the government cheese was, at least in Pennsylvania. It was grown by Pennsylvania dairy farmers.
It sounds good.
And they grew it expressly for poor people to have the nutrition from cheese.
Did you enjoy that cheese?
I loved it. It was the best cheese I've ever had. And I wish all American cheese was as melty. It would make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich.
Because it's what you're describing sounds like something that yuppies would pay more for now. Right?
It was like an aged American cheese, slightly aged American cheese, and it's farm to table
government cheese.
Yeah, we got that. We got peanut. I don't think the peanuts came from Pennsylvania, but it's jarred peanut butter, and it was a jar like pork, which definitely came from Pennsylvania. Because I would read the cans.
Yeah.
Because I was always interested in it because there's this big white can, like big can. It's like a gallon can, but it was like, yeah, made in Pennsylvania, made in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, oh. And then when I worked for the state and worked for the welfare department, I'm like, yeah, they used to just pay farmers to make this. Again, not to get political, but that cheese was great. Yeah. I don't know where you get that cheese from now.
Yeah,
I've never found it.
Like, what farmers contribute to this, and like, can they give it to us?
Now, there's a place I was reading about. It's not a Gonzo cheese. It's a sidebar. When I was looking up Cooper Sharp, there's some place that apparently makes like artisanal cheese that like a lot of places. I think Lucky's carries it sometimes. That's where I read about it. They have a cheese that I saw a review that somebody said it's just like the government cheese they grew up eating.
Yeah,
and it was like an orange American cheese.
Okay,
so I think they mostly just make it orange by putting like food coloring in it. But the way it melted in a stretch when it melted, they were like, it was just like the cheese I grew up with. So maybe that's the successor to like the classic Pennsylvania cheese.
Sounds good. Now that brings me to another kind of Gonzo local topic. You mentioned Lucky's, and Lucky's like has dabbled in Gonzo. Yeah. Like I don't think they've gone full, but I'm thinking of they have a sandwich called the Passion of the Cheese.
Yeah,
served only on Monday.
That killed me. Now, it was inspired by Friendly's, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know chicken or egg on that one, but like, I mean, Friendly's was first. I don't know if Chris Barnes knew about it. I got to ask him. But yeah, look up Passion of the Cheese. Yeah. Oh, man, they did on Kelly Drives. They've been on that a bunch.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, it's a grilled cheese sandwich with a burger and cheese and a tomato at least, if not full burger toppings.
Yeah.
Then it's topped with another grilled cheese sandwich.
Yes. And one of the grilled cheeses, I think, has tomato, and the other grilled cheese.
Okay, that's what it is.
Like, they're two different types.
One's tomato, one doesn't. The burger has onion on it. Onion cheese, I believe.
Basically, a burger where the bun is grilled cheeses. Multiple grilled.
It's delicious. I ate one at work, unfortunately, and then almost fell asleep for the rest of the night because it was just too much. It was the perfect amount of dense. It was like stomach sized.
Yeah, it definitely gives you the itis.
But yeah, it was so good. And Friendly's used to have a cheeseburger that was 2 grilled cheeses with the burger in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta think what they called it there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It wasn't like the Double Down or nothing.
Speaking of Gonzo foods, I don't know if you remember or know about this, Dylan. The Double Down sandwich that KFC had.
Yeah, look up KFC Double Down. That definitely fits.
Was that the one where the bread was chicken?
Yes, the bread was breaded chicken cutlets.
Bread was the chicken.
And then I think it was a bacon. I think it was technically a bacon sandwich, but the bread was chicken.
Man,
there's cheese and something in there. This is the most 90s commercial.
Of course, there's a bunch of dudes who are like, yeah, I love big things.
Unthink.
Yeah, we're dudes. We like giant sandwiches.
Yeah, it's a bacon sandwich. With a
bacon,
British chicken.
Cheese with the... I mean, I would eat it. I've never had one. But...
I thought they brought it back, or they talked about bringing it back recently, like sometime after COVID.
It's not even that crazy, to be honest. Like, after some of the things we looked at.
I mean, in the 90s, though, no one ever heard of a sandwich made out of interior sandwich parts.
I put meat in between my meat.
Yeah, so I can make a sandwich bread out of meat. You make the bread out of bread.
Yeah.
And they made the bread out of meat.
But it's breaded meat, at least.
Well, they also had the grilled version, which is not breaded.
It is. So chicken sandwiches have been having a moment, I guess, for the last almost decade, right? Like the KFC big one, I forget when it came out, but it was nearly 10 years ago at this point, and everyone lost their minds for it. Chicken sandwiches aren't.
You mean Popeyes?
Oh, it was Popeyes.
Yeah,
you're right.
Popeyes.
Yeah. But yeah, just like chicken's good. You should put that in a sandwich. Lucky's does a great one too. The Thunder Chicken.
The Doc Holliday's new one. We're talking a lot about Lucky's. It's called Lucky's Last Chance.
Yeah.
It's on Manayunk. They're on Manayunk. It's on Main Street in Manayunk.
If you're listening to this, you've probably already eaten there.
But they also have one in South Philly, Lucky's Last Chance, and there's Lucky's Roadside Diner on Ridge Avenue.
Yes.
Which
they're good friends of ours.
Really good.
Yeah. I like to think of them as our sister establishment, even though they're way bigger and cooler than us.
As our mentors.
Mentors, yeah.
Especially Chris Barnes. He's done a lot of helping us. Just talking to us about business stuff and helping us figure out the stuff he's had to help. He had to figure out.
Definitely.
But
But yeah, because they have that same mentality of loving like greasy, I don't know, like not necessarily gonzo food, but adjacent, like dive food.
Now I'm trying to think, what can we do to mix? We got to mix two things together for a gonzo food.
For ice cream or for
Lucky's and us?
Oh, Lucky's
brownie burger.
Brownie burger. Oh my God, yeah. So the brownie is the bread.
Brownie's the bread.
And there's a burger patty between
burger patty, and because they have lots of specialty burgers. Specialty burgers are very often a burger with other things that are not burgers on them. And it's still very good.
I know in the past they've done a donut burger, right? And so this is adjacent to that. I don't know. Brownie,
yeah, it's adjacent. I think
brownie sounds grosser.
It does, but I think they could make it. They have a peanut butter and jelly burger, which everyone competitions with.
You know what would go really?
It's a burger with peanut butter on it, and you dip it in chili.
Here's less insane. What if you did a chicken and waffle sandwich? So the bread is waffles and
full size Belgian waffles, and you put them
full size.
But like, I'm thinking of a gonzo food.
Yeah,
don't think of gonzo food for collaboration.
Well, gonzo food would be 2 full Belgian waffles.
Yeah, 2 full with 4 chicken cutlets.
Yeah, and then you can slice it.
No, you got to pick up the whole thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going gonzo, you got to pick up.
We can make some maple ice cream.
Yeah, we've done that before. We did that for Greg's in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, and you put a couple scoops of the maple ice cream on the sandwich.
Oh no, for dipping.
Dipping?
It's for dipping. You dip it in there. Oh my God. All right, so I can't believe chicken and waffles are
mascarpone maple ice cream.
Mascarpone maple. Yeah. But yeah, chicken and waffles are something that people love. Like that's the thing that is in half of the establishments now. But why not a sandwich of it?
I've only had chicken and waffles once. And I ate them separately. I'm ashamed.
I'm good.
Ashamed.
Is that because you don't like the idea or what?
Yeah, I don't like either. It's going to be a chicken finger or tender with a waffle, and I feel like that's cheating. I feel like it's cheap. Or it's going to be a piece of fried chicken. I got to pull apart my fingers and then eat a waffle.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is messy, and I don't want to do this in a restaurant.
No, and
I'd have to do it at home or at the shop or something.
I do think you want that to be a boneless situation. But like a boneless breast that's fried, I mean, when you go to the right place, it's real good. You get that.
I've never had a place that offered it like that. I need to find a place that offers it like that. Or we can collaborate with Lucky's.
Chicken and waffle sandwich. Chicken and waffle sandwich. This is going to happen. You guys, if anyone ever copies us, it's stealing it. Now, this is going to happen. Chicken and waffle. Oh, you know Lucky's would love to make that. The problem is making waffles is actually kind of a bear. And I was talking to Brendan McGrew at Mia Ragazza recently about this because they're thinking about getting into waffles. And he was asking me about the logistics of waffles. And he was like, how many irons do you think we need? I was like, I think like probably gonna want to have at least 4 going at once in a place like that.
2 double-sided ones at the least.
You got to heat them up. The problem at our shop, so Belgian waffle sundae is my favorite thing on the menu, but we don't sell a ton of them, right? We'll sell like a good night. We'll sell maybe 2 or 3, but that's per day.
Yeah.
And you got to heat up the iron, and that takes almost 15 minutes, like between 10 and 15 minutes for it just to get hot enough.
Yeah.
Unless you keep it on all the time. But if you keep it on all the time and don't use it, you damage the iron.
Yeah.
So like you want to keep it on.
Also, all your clothes smell like burnt butter, and it's not great.
Right.
Day in, day out.
But once it's heated up, then it takes between 3 and 4 minutes for that waffle to cook.
Yeah.
So that's slow in a kitchen. In a commercial kitchen, like you want to pop things out quick.
Yeah, and like I've done a couple product tests where I made a waffle, froze it, popped it back in a waffle iron because it fits, because it was made on the same iron. It doesn't eat the same though. It technically gets warm.
Technically, I hope so.
It doesn't get as crispy.
Yeah.
It either gets burnt, or if you undercook the waffle, then it's just soggy. Like both ways I try to over and undercooked and perfectly, all 3 ways. Perfectly cooked, overcooked, or undercooked. Each one reheated with a different issue. The closest is just if we could flash freeze it, but you don't have a flash freezer. If we could flash freeze it, it'd be slightly different.
Okay.
But in a standard like kitchen freezer, it doesn't crisp. It doesn't stay crisp.
Yeah.
So if we can solve that problem, if they could solve that problem, then they could maybe liquid nitrogen them and then put them in the freezer. Well, no, like seriously.
Yeah.
If you do something like that, then you can make a bunch. You can prep a bunch.
Well, I also want
and then serve them later and not have it degrade the quality.
We're getting an inside baseball
here
too, but also I'm thinking about the blast freezer, which is made to freeze things quickly. Like maybe if we try it in that, it might be a little better because we harden our ice cream in a special freezer that is made to basically freeze things as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes the ice cream creamy.
Yeah.
Because ice crystals do not form as readily.
And I didn't do that with the waffle because we had ice cream in there at the time.
Yeah.
I did think about it, but I was like, oh,
well, now they're in 2 separate facilities.
Yeah. Now I just got to run it over there.
Yeah.
Or bring the waffle line with me, I guess, would make more sense.
But when we move to our new place, they'll be in the same facility once again.
There'll be lots of testing.
Lots of testing. But yeah, I guess kind of bringing this around to one last thing, a place I haven't been, would like to visit, and I kind of think of this as a poster boy for Gonzo food. It's in Las Vegas. It's called the Heart Attack Grill. And I believe we have a video of that brought up. But so their whole thing is like they are really leaning into like this is the biggest, fattiest place you can possibly imagine. Their aesthetic is heart attacks. Literally, like it's all like the servers wear lab coats and
oh, that's not the server. That's the food guy.
Well,
I was like, why does he look like the guy from the food shows? Because it is a guy from the food shows.
Of course, it gets, definitely lowbrow. Like they have a lot of the servers dressed like sexy nurses, which is like, that's a little gross. But food, giant food. I love giant food.
Well, giant pill bottle hanging from the ceiling. So the camera is real bad. Maybe that wasn't the food guy.
Is it a hummingbird who's recording this? But yeah, their whole thing is just like giant burgers.
Octuple bypass.
Octuple bypass, you would think, has 8 patties on it. Too many patties. There's a lot of so there you go.
That is a lot of patties. That's a lot of cheese.
And so that's the thing where it's all about the presentation. Like you don't an eating experience, it's gonna be miserable. Like you gotta take it apart or bite in the middle. Like I've had some big burgers.
Eat it accordion style where you're like,
yeah, like
with a big skewer in the middle. Yeah,
a cob of corn, just like all the way down. Yeah, but even that's
35 bacon slices was an ad for the octuple bypass.
So that's what this guy's eating now: 35 bacon slices, eight patties. It's a lot of food. And you look at the size of this man.
Is he going to eat this thing?
And it looks like they put you in a gown.
Well, yeah. So when they wheel you out to the emergency room, you're already ready.
The sad part is you think about a place like this and you're like, how many times have they actually had to wheel a person out in an ambulance? It's non-zero.
Yeah, he just took it apart and is eating it.
Yeah.
Not burger-wise. Yeah, but you have to, but at the same time, it feels so bad.
Yeah.
Like they could have put more, they could have just had it be 4 burgers stacked on top of each other, 4 double burgers.
All right, that cup with the owner like glaring at you is pretty great too. But this screams Las Vegas, right? It's kind of sleazy.
It's excessive.
It's excessive.
It's probably and knowing Las Vegas, it's probably like $15-20 because the food is dirt cheap out there.
But at the same time, part of me wants to try this, like just to maybe a quadruple bypass. I'll do a quadruple. I can probably eat 4 patties.
I could eat 3, maybe. That's too much.
I definitely couldn't do the 8
because those are like pound patties too.
Maybe in my college,
maybe a half pound. Like those are not small burgers.
Also, man, if I was doing like a professional Gonzo eating, I wouldn't have a beard like that. It seems like a liability.
You might swallow it by mistake, and then you're choking on beard.
It's just, I mean, the end of this, like it's not going to be clean.
Well, he probably cheats by hiding food in his beard.
Hey, he looks like he should be singing in a metal band. I guess he's going to do it. 4 minutes in, he's made really good progress. I'm impressed.
Okay, that's basically a full burger's worth of material right there. You just pulled up.
Yeah, it's a normal burger, a normal large burger.
Well,
let's be clear.
There's at least a bun on top.
Yeah.
No, that's a tomato. That's not even a bun. That's a giant slice of tomato.
That actually makes it more appetizing. Like there's some plants involved. Some plants were killed in the making of this. Now, would you eat at a place like this? Like for a fun one-off thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Vegas for it.
Yeah, I mean, not
would.
Just for it. No, I'm not flying to Vegas just to go here. But if I happen to be in Vegas.
Well, if you're in Vegas, might as well eat a giant burger like this and stay in Vegas. In this Vegas cemetery.
Spend the rest of the time in the bathroom and everything's cool. Yeah, he's doing really good, man.
It's been 7.5 minutes? Okay.
Heart Attack Grill. Leaning into it. So maybe one day I'll get there. I don't know. The next time I go to,
we got to start small.
Yeah,
we got to practice.
See, that's the word. Like leading up to this, like, do you train? Because I would sort of train for the ice cream festival every year. That's how I got to 47. I'm still mad it wasn't 50, because 50 is a really round number. 47 is the type of number.
You were trying. I remember how frustrated you were.
It would not come. It would not go down.
And our friend Rich was right behind you. You had somebody on your heels too, so y'all were motivated. I think he had 45 or 46. He got close.
Rich kept pushing me, and that's the only reason I did as much as I did. But yeah, so maybe sometime in the future soon, we'll see a little more crazy gonzo food in Manayunk. That's the thing. Like, I want to balance that crazy presentation and the over-the-topness with deliciousness and like a good eating experience, I guess, first and foremost.
And we could always do like a fundraiser thing too, like that. Like,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Bet how much wager on how much ice cream such and such can eat. You can have a selection of like Manayunk notables or Philly notables or something.
Yeah. Or even have like a competition between like 5 people and like this is an event, a fundraiser.
No professional eaters though.
No, well,
they're gonna eat us out of house and home.
I want locals, but like if a local happened to be a professional eater,
okay,
you know, someone in Northwest Philadelphia at least, right?
I know the place, a pizza place on Main Street did that a couple months ago.
Oh yeah,
they brought in professional eaters to eat a bunch of pizza. I don't know how that turned out. But apparently it was attended well. Like they had a lot of contestants. I don't think Joey Chestnut was there. They weren't doing impossible pizzas.
But that's the thing with this. I think the eating experience is probably sort of miserable because he's just grabbing cooked patties.
But I'm not even drinking a Coke with it. Carbonated beverage, it can make a little bit of room, but also you're going to be burping up a storm and just filling yourself with bubbles. I don't know.
Man, this dude's doing it in like 16 minutes. It's impressive. She's seen this. This is her job, and she's
I wonder if you saw anybody else finish it, or if he's the first person to finish it.
Maybe the first person of his weight class. At least. Like the skinny ones, man. They're the ones who surprise you.
I was gonna say like the one lady that was wrecking at the hot dog eating contest and the boiled egg eating contest. Bring it back to make it political again. I forget how many boiled eggs she ate. But it was like half her body weight in boiled eggs at one sitting. And
it's disgusting.
I don't understand it.
But disgusting's kind of the name of the game when it comes to gonzo food. But yeah, I hope that you guys have all kind of enjoyed this walk down the world of giant disgusting food. I know we got some ideas. I think we're gonna make something. We're gonna make this happen. But yeah, do you have any final words? He doesn't. He's speechless. I'm impressed. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Tubby Talk.
Bye.
Young John!